But then let's move over to this report. In French Cameroon's Adamawa region, a total of 400 candidates have been retained from 1,263 who participated in a rigorous selection process to join its elite Rapid Intervention Battalion, the BIR. Maintaining its claim that this move is to bolster national security and create employment opportunities, Ambazonians have read between the lines and have understood BIA's hidden agenda to escalate the already devastating war in Ambazonia, especially with the colonial presidential elections coming up in the months ahead. Now, in this report, as opposed to the recent event in French Cameroon's far north region, this second large-scale recruitment exercise for the BIR took place in its Adamawa region. Document scrutinies, preliminary medical checks, and demanding physical tests, including a grueling 20-kilometer run with a 20-kilogram load, were the criteria for this exercise. Overseen by the Colonial Ministry of Defense, this nationwide initiative intends to get 1,800 hitmen to carry out murderous acts for the BIA regime. For over 8 years now, communities in Ambazonia have endured relentless violence and instability, trapped in a war that has displaced hundreds of thousands and claimed countless lives. The colonial government's claims of strengthening national security is just a mask to shield its real intentions for the ongoing recruit. The BIR, with its history in counter-insurgency operations, is a central tool in the BIA's government's strategy against the Ambazonian population. These newly recruited individuals, many from vulnerable areas, and not being trained for national defense in a broad sense, very largely, but rather they are being molded into instruments of a war that has brought nothing but pain and destruction to the people of Ambazonia. A similar exercise was conducted days ago in Marau and Garau, and the next phase of the selection process will require candidates to carry a wooden pole in pairs, and trek through rough terrain to test teamwork and endurance. Families continues to be torn apart and livelihoods destroyed. The fate of Ambazonians remains uncertain amidst the manipulations of the colonial government. Meanwhile, we see that the voice of Ambazonia has sharply criticized the exclusion of an opposition leader named Maurice Kamto from Cameroon's upcoming presidential election, describing it as a deliberate act of political manipulation by the BIA regime. The editorial argues that ELECAM, the state-controlled electoral body, serves not as an impartial referee, but also as a tool of dictatorship, selectively disqualifying credible challengers like Kamto while maintaining the illusion of democratic process. Even if Kamto is reinstated, the editorial warns that his participation in a fundamentally broken system could undermine his credibility and blur the lines between opposition and complicity. Now, for Amazonians, what's the message? It's clear. The elections in the colonial governments are irrelevant, to their struggle for self-determination. Under the leadership of President Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, Ambazonians reject participation in what it views as a colonial system designed to suppress their sovereignty. The editorial warns that any engagement, whether voting or observing, risks legitimizing a fraudulent union. Instead, Ambazonians at this time are urged to remain focused on their mission for full independence, guided by international legal principles and the sacrifices made for their freedom.